And a green day for markets as inflation surprises in the positive direction. Core PCE coming in as expected. Markets here moving in the green, up almost 1% here, bouncing from a very important level. But is this a trap, or can we continue our move here back to the upside on Bitcoin? I'm going to be breaking down the key levels and my take on the current price action here. If you appreciate this type of updates live as and when the data comes out, smash up the likes, ijaz.uk/Bybit if you want to trade alongside us. That does support the channel. Now, markets here, traditional markets are moving positively. You got the Nasdaq 1.7% here today, S&P are 4% up today, and Dow Jones 0.6%. And that is because PCE inflation came in quite tame. Inflation measures are starting to move in the right direction. And despite us having 25 basis point rate hike a couple of days ago, markets are understanding that we're in the final innings of inflation. We're in the final innings of this rate hiking cycle. Soon we will be getting a pause, and we're starting to see that risk on momentum start to come back into the markets. That can be further corroborated by looking at the red day here on the dollar index. Remember, dollar index has had a positive couple of days here. Look at the last week it had here. That was the one of the reasons that Bitcoin was sent back below 30,000. But we need this to curl over, just like it curled over here. We need to reject it and send it to the downside. If you bring out the daily EMA ribbon here on the dollar index, you can see that the dollar index is running into the daily EMA ribbon. Needed to get rejected by this EMA ribbon. It's very important that we can send it back down to the downside and avoid it from starting to regain its EMA ribbon. If we can do that, then it could be the case that Bitcoin manages to regain its EMA ribbon. Bitcoin can regain its EMA ribbon. That could set us up for another attempt at that difficult 30 to 31,000 level. And this is the key thing right now. I'm not hugely bullish on this current Bitcoin pump if and until we do not regain this EMA ribbon. If we can regain this EMA ribbon, which currently sits at this level around 29,767, that is where I can see some positive momentum coming in. Ideally, I'd want to see us above 30. That's going to be an important level. If we can get back above our EMA ribbon, have a momentum like this, then I can say, okay, maybe we've regrouped enough to go and reattempt a fight at the level where we got rejected previously a couple of weeks ago. Until that can happen, I am still looking out for lower price targets. And you guys know I've shared this with you. The main price target I'm looking out for is on the weekly chart. And that is the top of the weekly EMA ribbon. Look at this dotted line we have here. Sits exactly at 27,784. This is horizontal support as well as where the top of the EMA ribbon comes in. So I'm looking for a pullback to this level. That being said, currently Bitcoin is managing to hold at 29. That's a major support level. If we lose that, I'm looking for 28 and I'm looking for 27.7. Those are the key levels I'm looking to DCA in. If we can come to those levels, I will be looking for opportunity to add. But currently, this bounce is only exciting, and I will only change my mind on the fact that we're going to get a pullback if we can short term here get back above this EMA ribbon. If we can get above this EMA ribbon, then great. Hold above the EMA ribbon, try work your way back towards that 30-31 level. But long term, I'd much rather see us come back. I know that sounds horrible, and I don't even mean this just so I can DCA. I just want to see it come back. When you look at the movement here, we ran to the upside, we got exhausted, we came to the downside. Then we ran up, we came down. Is that enough of a consolidation? Time will tell. Yes, we could theoretically go and do that now. That would be great. I think it'll be a far more powerful move if we just come down to the next support and then get the momentum to break through 30. And the beautiful thing is, once that then happens, we can start playing out all the price targets which we desire, right? From for example, this channel here. If you look at this channel, same thing. Right? Look how the bottoms connect. I'm going to show you this on the daily chart so you can see how many times this channel touches to the bottom side. Look how it obeys this channel. Very nice channel. So again, does it want to finish off and come to the bottom of the channel? Nice DCA opportunity here before then working its way back to the top of the channel, which by the way sits in that 37,000 region. Let's also take a look here, because we got the big cup and handle pattern. We cannot ignore this. The cup and handle pattern is a very important pattern right now that we're playing for, right? In order for this to activate, we need to get above the neckline. We've not managed to. We got rejected from 31,000. We've got to clear this cluster and start working our way towards the price target of 45. I'm strongly for the idea that we will at some point shortly here head towards 45. Inflation's coming the right direction, risk is starting to rotate back on. I think the dollar index will get sent to the downside and that can allow Bitcoin to move. The question now is, do we need that short-term pullback, and how far is that pullback going to go? Is that it? Is that 29,000 all our pullback and that's it? Now we're ready to go back to the moon? I don't think so. I feel like we need a deeper pullback, whether that's 28, whether that's 27.7, and that's where I'm going to be looking to add to my bags. But the positive news is we are still seeing that risk appetite on. We are still seeing that the dollar index is getting sent to the downside, but I want to see it get rejected powerfully. I want it to fall from this pattern and start moving here to the downside towards that 98 range on the dollar index. And then we can start celebrating that risk is rotating on and Bitcoin is set up for a nice, powerful move. The other thing to pay attention to here will be the dollar index, right? You've got to pay attention to this dollar index. The dollar index has been cooling down here recently. So again, if Bitcoin falls down to that 27.7 level, which I was sharing with you, that could coincide with the dollar index move down here, maybe down to 49% flat. And then once it comes down to this level, maybe that's when we can see Bitcoin bounce with vengeance and start working its way to the upper side of its channel and continue its move. Because if you remember when I zoom out to the weekly chart, we've seen that Bitcoin dominance has moved much higher than here in previous cycles. In the last cycle, it ran up to 73%. Now, I know that people are making an argument that the market's more mature, maybe Bitcoin dominance will never get to 73% again, but even now, looking at the level we're at about 49%, you can make the argument that there's more room to be had, right? Maybe to 55, maybe up towards 60 range here, but I still think there's another leg here to be had for Bitcoin to set the tempo, to set the pace, and then altcoins can follow behind. That being said, you are starting to see some life in altcoins as well, which is interesting. Do keep an eye on this. When you see a green day here on Bitcoin and Bitcoin's moving up 1%, look at your portfolio altcoins and make sure that they're alive, right? This is always a tip I give to people here. Make sure they're alive. If they're not moving, like you see here, Phantom moving 1.3% here, Matic moving 0.4, less than Bitcoin here, Avalanche moving 0.5, less than Bitcoin, Algorand moving 1%, and just keep an eye on it. Render moving 2.37%, and just make sure that your altcoins are starting to respond. That's going to give you a clue. For every time Bitcoin has a green day, your altcoin's still having a red day, something is up. You need to start looking into why that's happening and why your altcoin is falling out of favor. If you appreciate this video, guys, smash all the likes. Don't forget to subscribe. A really, really important ultimate guide on profit-taking strategies is dropping today. I've worked hard on that video for you guys. Loads of you over the last weeks and months have been asking me for an ultimate profit-taking guide strategy. I've put all my best tips into this one video for you guys, and make sure your notification bell is on. Make sure you look out for that video later on today and show some love in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.